Welcome back to News Across Nigeria, where we bring you news from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, the 36 states of the Federation. Well, just before the first half, we were talking about Kaduna State, where the NDLEA made a very significant discovery. Well, just some facts on that state right now, which is one of the 7 states in the northwestern part of Nigeria. Did you know that the word Kaduna is alteration of the Gbagi word or name for a river? Did you also know that it's also from the word Kada, meaning crocodile? And Lord Frederick Lugard moved the capital of the then northern region from Zungeru to Kaduna in 1916. Some history for you and other things to remember. A lot of notable institutions in Kaduna State, colleges and universities such as the Ahmadu Bello University, popularly known as ABU, Zaria, the Kaduna State University, Kaduna, the popular Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, Kaduna, as well as the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, which is in Zaria, and the City University of Technology in Kaduna. And the governor presently is Malam Nasr el-Rufai. There to the southeast, the Anambra State Governor, Mr. Willie Obiano, has appealed to the European Union to intervene in the development of communities in the state, with special focus on girl-child education, flood management, and power. The appeal was made during a courtesy visit of the EU ambassador to Anambra State in search of a new area of collaboration with the state government, as well as assess the level of existing EU programs in the state. Take a look.
I'm very happy EU has been working with us. So far, they are intervening in 2 local governments. We're trying to see whether they can expand it to include other local governments. But the projects they have are doing well, and we have a structure to make sure that the community will take ownership after those projects have been built. We did also make requests for intervention in certain areas, something like girl-child education, real flood, and power.
It was a very nice overview of our current programs and projects, and globally our different areas where we do cooperate, but more importantly to look at the future. We are currently in the process of planning our cooperation for the next 5 years, and it's important to visit a few states and discuss priorities, etc. The main word is certainly sustainability.
Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano and the EU ambassador in the state paying a visit not too far away in Imo State. The government has promised to create over 12,000 jobs for its unemployed youth within the next 2 years through agriculture. The state governor, Rochas Okorocha, disclosed this in faraway Istanbul, Republic of Turkey, after a 4-day business trip to see how Imo State can learn from the country's success story. The governor added that it's necessary at this point to think more of agriculture as the mainstay of the economy, which can serve as the only alternative to crude oil.
Turkey, with a population of over 77 million, has agriculture as its major stronghold. The sector has remained the largest employer of labor, dominating over 26% of its labor force and a major contributor to the country's GDP. According to recent publication by IMF and The Economist, Turkey has become one of the few countries in the world that is self-sufficient in terms of food, and also one of the largest producer and exporter of agricultural products in Europe and around the world. All these indices is what has attracted the Imo State government to Turkey to see areas where they can partner to boost the state's agricultural sector. But first, the team takes a tour of factories where machines are manufactured.
The rural women go through a lot of hell, through a lot of difficulties in just frying 1 bag of cassava. We have come here now to look at possible equipment that can help them produce this garri and bag them at the same time. That can be for export. We're also looking at the fish We're looking at so many of our local products, vegetables, tomato, whatever we're able to produce. We just want to add value added, using the modern equipment to do so.
The agric sector remains cardinal for Imo government, and the governor also thinks the proposed partnership with Turkish agro-allied businessmen to develop the agricultural sector in Imo State will reduce the unemployment rate and also increase the internally generated revenue.
All that we're doing now is to really ensure that this one community, one factor, one community, one industry program of this administration will come to fruition. And we intend to make sure that we have every community in Imo State have a factory, at least to create between 10 to 20 to 50 jobs.
Making the state favorable for investors is one of the focus of the state government, and for some industrialists, the partnership is the right step for any government to take.
We are working in tandem with the vision of His Excellency Owele Sokorocha to ensure that Imo State is industrialized, and in keeping with his mantra, job, 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 factory, factory, factory.
We have plenty of opportunities agriculturally. What is the idea here? The idea is to create jobs, create economic opportunities in Imo and empowerment, and generate more internally generated revenue, so we're less dependent on this volatile crude oil.
This is the second time the state government is embarking on a trade investment mission to Turkey to seek business partnership. And the people of Imo are waiting to see the impact of all these foreign trips on the economy of the state.
Staying with the issue of development, the governor of Edo State, Abambra-EU, is also keeping that on the front burner. He's been speaking on the need for African countries to evolve policies that will help deepen the economic development of the continent. Governor Oshomole said this in Benin City, the Edo State capital, while playing host to Zambia's Minister of Labour and Social Security, Mr. Faxon Shaminda. According to him, African leaders have a significant role to play in this direction if the continent is to achieve the goal of catering for the needs of its growing population.
The policies which the Zambia government have put in place, not only to encourage foreign direct real investment in the real sector, but to give the necessary incentive to an African to penetrate the market, to locate a plant and provide them the security they needed to establish and to do all the things they had to do to get the plant into operation. Because part of the argument you and I have pushed various Africa Trade Union forums and our engagement with African government that we should have policies that promote African unity. The best way to promote African unity is not for our politicians and political leaders to meet in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, once in a while and make bold statements about the continent, the near past, our development. It is for us to make bold statements, to create jobs and use the resources we have on the continent and not export them to Europe, who then bring a fraction back in the name of direct investment.
Edo State Governor Adams Oshomole from the South-South, news across Nigeria, crosses to the southwest. The Osun State government and labor leaders in the state have agreed to commence the payment of outstanding salaries for workers, as well as payment of deductions made from their salaries since June. Addressing newsmen shortly after the meeting in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, State Chairman of the NLC, Jacob Adekomi, explained that the payment covers a 3-month arrears for the state and local government workers. The Chief of Staff to the Osun State government, Mr. Agboyega Oyetola, said both parties are working out modalities to aid the internally generated revenue of government to avoid a recurrence.
The first disbursement from the bailout loan should cover the payment of outstanding September and December 2014 deductions, balance of January and February salaries, and full payment of March, April, and May 2015 salaries for state government workers. With this, that means it has erased the impression that the state government of Osun has slashed the workers' salaries. The workers in the local government and primary school teachers be paid their first installment installment out of the bailout loan to cover the payment of balance of March and April 2015 salaries, as well as full payment of March, May, and June 2015 salaries. That state pensioners be paid balance of December 2014, as well as January, February, and March 2015 pensions, while their counterpart in the local government and primary school be paid up to June 2015.
The issue of this decline in revenue might persist, and that's being realistic, and you must plan for it. If you pay all the arrears, which cover January to June, what happens from July, August, and the rest of the months? So we must have an understanding that if in the process of this bailout, there is an implication to it, they'll be deducting so much from federal allocation from September. What it means that whatever remains from the federal allocation will now be added to whatever we're able to generate from internal generated revenue. And that will be the basis of payment of salary and the running of government.
Still to come on News Across Nigeria, Lagos State Government uplifts the spirit of the women folk with a promise to create more platforms for empowerment. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.